Hello guys, welcome back to the channel with me, Cmdr Embryo. Here we're continuing our soft reset series, and as you can see, I've probably done it. Well, I've done a bit of off-camera work here. I've popped back into that res after that federal dropship taught me a thing or two at the end of the last episode, and I had a bit of a sort of fairly easy going time of it. Picked up 4 or 5 bounties, totaling 513,000 credits. So all in all, a pretty good thing. But I didn't want to just continue doing the same thing over and over again in the episodes. So as it stands, with what we currently got, if we take a look over here, we can see just above here the rebuy cost is 25,000. So the insurance is 5%. So times that by 20, I've got about 500,000 in the ship that I've got, and 500,000 credits. So we've got about 1 million to play with. So the plan is I'm going to get that Cobra that I've been lusting after, chuck some bits on it. I won't go through the loadout there, I'll just show you the loadout once I've done it. And we're going to head planet side. Alright, so I'm just going to get this bit sped up and I'll talk you through the loadout in a moment. Okay, I'm just going to quickly cut back in. If you're a new player, you may not know this, but if you sell your ship as part exchange towards your next ship, you lose 10% of the value of the ship, which you can't do anything about. That's the sort of depreciation that happens. However, you'll also lose 10% of all the modules that you've bought for it. Now, you can get around this currently, as it stands, just prior to 2.1 hitting. This may not be the case in the future if you're watching this far in the future. But you can get around this by going into your outfitting and selling them off, which is what I tried doing in the previous video with the Sidewinder, but I know I could have downgraded them, but because that was all loaned, I couldn't do it. So if you go in here, just sell off all the items you can, and then go through each one by one, selling the bits. When you come to the internals, you won't be able to sell it totally, but what you can do, you can see here I've got a D3 power plant. What you can do is just buy back, well, basically buy the smallest thing you can for each internal module. Don't worry about what it says. All right, it will reduce your selling cost because obviously it's based on what it comes with as standard. But it's a good way of getting around that 10% penalty. So as it stands, I'll catch you in a bit once we've got the Cobra and fitted out. Right, I've just fitted out the Cobra. Now, as you can see here, we've got a mixture of D and C grade items on the standard internals. This is very much a compromise between, well, of sort of performance over the cost, because always keep in mind, like I was trying to reiterate over and over last time, that rebuy cost, keep value. Don't waste the time. You know, if you feel confident enough to take that risk, then do so, but but then don't cry if you lose it all and you've lost all that time that you've spent. You're back in the Sidewinder. So the rebuy cost on this ship is around 40 to 50,000. So we've got a couple of rebuys with our credits available here. 115,000 credits, and out here with the mind to what I want it to do in what this ship. I want it, what I want to do with it in the future. I've upgraded to 2 16-slot cargo racks. Sorry, 16-ton cargo racks. I've got a C4 shield generator. That was the best I could afford, again, with the same eye on how much to spend. A couple of 4-ton cargo racks and a planetary vehicle hangar. I did look into a fuel scoop, so we're not beholden to landing, and we can get a little bit way further afield and be sort of self-sufficient in terms of our fuel. But again, the cost was a bit prohibitive, and we're stuck in this system well, not stuck in this system, but we're based here at this system for a little bit longer anyway, so that's not really much concern. But we've gone for a planetary vehicle hangar and the standard Scarab, which is currently the only sort of SRV surface reconnaissance vehicle that you can get. Anything else? Oh yeah, hard points. So hard points. We've gone for 2 size 2 gimbaled pulse lasers, in case we, might need might get into a bit of action. And I've chucked on a couple missile racks. So anyone of you guys that have watched previous videos, you might this might give you a hint as to what we maybe end up doing on the planet. I don't know what mission's going to be available, but I've taken these racks because if there are any surface attack missions, these missile racks are really, really handy just to take out the turrets and make our job a lot easier. I haven't taken anything here. I could take possibly some chaff. We've got the money, but I'll leave it for the moment. I'll just leave it as this sort of standard build. Okay. Yep, so we'll set our fire groups. I'll do this tinkering and then I'll see you in the system map in a moment. Okay, we're in the system map. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may well have noticed that we're not at Lanier Orbital anymore. We're at Fu City, because for whatever reason, there's increased GPU or CPU usage in this system map, and it screws up the recording. However, if I've got the system map loaded, I can record. So what I've done is I've gone in this system map to show you where we're going to be going. So here we've got all the ports that are in space, and here we've got the landfall, obviously the planets available, and here this little symbol is the surface ports. So you can see that we've got 2 available in this system here. So we've got Kendrick Arsenal and MkIII Lab. Now I'm going to choose Kendrick Arsenal because that's where I chose before, and I went on and did a couple missions and found that ever since going into the system map, the recording was screwed up, much like previously in episode 2. So I've started a new recording. You don't need to know, and we're going to go here and see if we can pick up similar mission as before, and it's worked out pretty well, pretty good previously, and it's a really efficient way of making some early credits, and almost, well, not quite as efficient as bounty hunting, but seriously, it's like almost 0 risk. So we'll get on with that. Okay, so we're at Fu Station now. So where we want to go is actually just this planet here. We go in, zoom right into it, and we want to go to Kendrick. There you go. Obviously, we could have selected that from the list. This saves. Well, it doesn't save any time, but it shows you another way of doing it. That'll be our destination. And in the interest of time, I shall just now head off, and I shall see you as we're coming in to approach. Okay, so we're heading into Kendrick Arsenal. We're approaching the planet. You can see that the 3/4 circle is broken, it's dotted, which means that Kendrick Arsenal is on the opposite side of the planet. So we're going to head on around, orbit it a touch. Doesn't look to be that far around. It's just beyond the horizon by the looks of things. Can afford to throttle up a touch. Come into super cruise. Sorry, not super cruise. Orbital cruise. About to hit it now. Right, and we want about 30-degree down angle. I'm going to pitch my nose up a touch. Okay, down like that's pretty good. Should easily. Going to come a bit short. I'd rather be between 30 and 35, in which case we'll just land dead on it. But as it stands, this shouldn't be too bad. We'll probably be about 10 kilometers away. Just let the keep calling it the super cruise. Let the glide take us on in. There you go. So we're well within 7.5 kilometers we need to be able to request docking.
Docking request granted.
See here our pad is. Now we're 3.32 Gs, so it's not particularly difficult to maneuver and land. Unlike Akanar 6 or 5 or whatever that one is, it's 6 Gs. Gonna come in a bit heavy, but it wouldn't be my landing. Wouldn't be a landing by me if it wasn't. Anything you can walk away from is a good landing. Okay, so let's see if we've got similar luck to before. Now there's a particular mission I'm after. It's for an early player, it's an absolute steal of a mission. So we come in, we're looking for something called cutting the power. It may not be on this planet, but the LHS 3749. It's not a good earner. The one I did, unfortunately, when the recording stuffed up, was 300,000. But take a look at this one. Now, this is absolutely perfect for the perfect use for the missiles that we bought. We'll just check. It is a neighbouring system. So this looks to be the only Deer hub. Okay, so that's a triple. It's a triple security, but we should be able to just get in and get out. It will give us more options. Hopefully they'll have more turrets, so we only have to pick one, then job done. Okay, so we'll select that as our target. We'll accept it. Yeah, it was a real shame because that was a hell of a mission before. It doesn't have any rank requirements, and it was 300,000 for exactly what we're going to be doing now, but we're only going to get 60 for this. So we'll head off. This mission, you can do it in an SRV, but I wouldn't advise it. I'd go for orbital bombardment with the missile racks. Right, so head straight up. Maybe lucky enough to have our system. Yep, we can jump straight to it. Because we're in orbital cruise, we're going to get some sort of weird audio bug when I get into the system, that my super cruise will still have the sound as if I'm in orbital cruise. So I don't know if anyone else experiences that bug, but I am. Oh no, I wasn't in orbital cruise before, but if I go from orbital cruise straight and jump out, I still have that orbital cruise sound. Anyhow, alright, I'll cut this super cruise session short and I'll see you on approach to Deer Hub. Alright, so we're coming into Deer Hub again. Well, not again. Coming into Deer Hub. Let's let the textures load in, shall we? Right. We're coming in pretty steep, so I'm going to drop my nose because I want to come in at a nice shallow angle.
Orbital flight engaged.
We are coming in way too hot, but hopefully, well, we'll see. Glide is our friend. Here you go. So you can see that this this outpost is fairly large, but all we need to do is equip our missiles. Now this is what we're after. These little things attached to these turrets are the power generators. So let's just fire off one of those. There you go. Job done. And that is it. That is all we need to do. So, you can go around and mop up the rest, and if you've got any missions that require any sentries taken out, then you can go in and do exactly the same thing on those sort of outposts. So feels a little bit feels a little bit wrong, but that's it. And that's exactly what I did before, and it was 300 grand. But this time it's only 60 odd. So we shall head back to Ross 210. It's visible, so we can just jump straight there. Again, that's what I mean. That is as simple as it gets. And we just go back. We land at Kendrick and hand it in.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
On approach to Kendrick. See if I can make a better deal of this one, rather than. Well, I was quite happy with our approach to whatever that was called, Deer Outpost or Deer Landing.
Orbital flight engaged.
So just practice with your approaches. If you come in at this sort of angle, you won't go wrong. I wouldn't suggest going any steeper than 45 degrees. Fear of just nose diving straight into the ground. But if you're anything like me, your first attempts and stuff, you'll end up being 20, 30 kilometers, if not more, away from your particular destination that you're after. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're a little bit further away on this one. The glide will just take us in. There's absolutely no throttle required for this. In fact, I'll just throttle off, hands off. Yeah, glide complete. There you go, and we're nice and safe. Let's go and request.
Docking request granted.
So we'll hand in that mission. So in terms of what you've seen, the balance on I'm 300,000 more than it suggests because of unfortunately that glitchy. We're gonna dunk.
Hull integrity compromised.
Oh well, not worried about that. It's 2%.
Shields offline.
Okie dokie.
Engines disengaged. Shields online.
That's kind of you. Okay, so we'll repair. 19 credits. Should have saved that. Right. Hand it in. There you go. 62,500 credits. We'll see if we've got any. See, these installation ones are good to take. They're fun, but they can be a little bit more involved. So what I think we'll do is we'll leave that as a shorter episode because there's nothing really worth taking it unless this is local. Landmines. Running out of time here as well. I shall leave the episode here. I'll make this a shorter one today. So if you're after any it's got very quick and easy dirty missions to take, cut the power missions are absolutely fantastic. If you're lucky enough to have a cut the power mission on the same planet as you, that's even better. You can just rinse and repeat over and over again, and everything's great. You know, just like taking bounty hunting often. But hope this has helped you. I apologise about the sort of fragmented nature of this. The glitched recording has sort of thrown me a little bit. If you've enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, sorry about that. Give me a thumbs down and let me know why. Otherwise, best of luck in your games. You to fly safe. If you can't do that, Fly dangerous, but not too dangerous. Remember, rebuy. Alright, take care guys. See you soon.